it's almost like she was getting ready for battle. Did you notice that? Did you notice how she was dressed? I mean, those gigantic shoulder pads. It's so distracting. Like, I almost forgot what Peter was saying, and I'm looking at the shoulder pads, my eyes going straight. What are those? She's like, okay, I need my padding. I'm ready for battle here. I got to go up against Peter Doocy from Fox News. Woo, KJP, check her out.
Great question. Combating misinformation and disinformation
Huge.
is always critically important. It is. You heard the laydown that I gave at the top. The reason I did that at the top is because we wanted to make clear that things are available to the public, folks who are impacted, and that misinformation, disinformation is indeed dangerous. It gets in the way in what we're trying to do here. It does. And there's been a lot of falsehoods.
Okay. So you got the picture. She's going to go down
backtrack.
that rabbit hole again, but you saw the shoulder pads, right? So I thought, maybe it was just a fashion faux pas. She was having a bad day. She got out the old clothes out of the closet. I don't know. But then I'm over here looking at the view today, okay? And we don't have to listen to it, guys, but just take a look at the size of the shoulders. Wow.
Alone. 28 days to go until election. So we are thrilled.
Her shoulders are naturally that way, okay? We got some more shoulders. Okay, you got big shoulder pads on Kamala Harris. Big shoulder pads. Is this because she's going to show us how manly she is? Then you get these ladies over here.
For all of those who are mispronouncing it, I want you all to know.
Take a look. Shoulder pads. More shoulder pads. What the heck? Okay, let me tell you.
Lies are, and
it's actually like critical for the future of fashion that Kamala Harris not be elected, because all of a sudden we're going to see women walking around with really, not this one. Thank you very much. My shoulders are au naturel. I mean, what's the deal? Huge shoulder pads. Okay. So again, I just thought it was a one-off with KJP. And then I'm looking at the view today and I'm like, oh, there's something else going on. Like, this is us big, tough women, and we're going to show you, right? Oh my gosh. Well, you got pantsuits too, right? Pantsuits and shoulder pads, because why not make yourself into a man? I'll tell you, you know what? This one's never gonna. Early in my career, they were like, would you cut your hair? And I'm like, no. And they're like, but it would look better on television. It would be more professional. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not attractive with short hair. I'm not going to do it. Anyway, look, your health, fitness, your ability to kind of have that confidence, a lot of it, is your appearance, right? So I wasn't going to cut my hair. And I do care how I look. I do care about taking care of myself. I care about having strong, broad shoulders that are natural. Thank you very much. That, I do my job at the gym and I work out and all that kind of stuff. I also take Balance in Nature. How's that for a segue? Because they're one of our sponsors too. Listen, for all of you like, oh my gosh, I can't stand it, we get another sponsorship. It's great that we have sponsors. Remember that. And every time you go and you support a sponsor, you're helping to support this show. So I appreciate every time that you do. But it's Balance in Nature. Balance of Nature is the vitamin that I take every day. They send it to my house. You can get free shipping. Actually, if you use code word Trish, I'm going to put this up here for all of you. But Balance of Nature is it's a vitamin. I take the fruits and veggies every day, which is just wonderful. My doctor had actually told me, Trish, you need more vitamin D. And I get it, because I'm scared about the skin. I don't want to have all that sun on my skin and get all the sun damage. So I don't spend a ton of time in the sun. And when I do, I usually have a hat on or sunscreen or something like that. And so I don't get enough vitamin D. I also live in the Northeast. And in the Northeast, of course, as you know, we just don't have, we don't have a ton of sun in the winter. And so this kind of just goes with the territory. I got to get to Florida more this year. I went to Florida one weekend last year. You guys are hysterical. You're like, where are you in Florida? I was in the Miami area, but we were doing the show live from there and you were terrific. But I do want to at least give a shout out to our friends over at Balance in Nature, because if you're seeing any other ad right now, ignore it. Just ignore it, because this is the best ad that you're going to see. You just use my name. If you go to balanceofnature.com, go to balanceofnature.com, use code word Trish, TRISH. And if you do that, you can get you will get 35% off. 35% off by going to balanceofnature.com and using code word Trish. 35% off plus free shipping. So a really, really, really good deal. And again, you know what? The sponsors, we love them because they help us and they help us do this show. And, you know, I'm able to get more people helping us on this show thanks to our sponsorship. And thanks to all of you guys. So remember to subscribe, remember to share, remember to do all that stuff. It's important right now. Look, Elon Musk keeps talking about this is the last possible election we may have. And I get it. You know, people are, oh, it's hyperbole, whatever. It's really not. Because when you look at what's happening in terms of the border itself, and then when you consider where FEMA's money has been going, this is stuff that's really, really, really concerning. I mean, here's some numbers to share with you. We were looking at these earlier in the week. North Carolina, migrant population up 446%, Pennsylvania up 241%, Arizona 734%. These are all big swing states. And there's been an effort to fast track a lot of people in the state of Georgia, mind you. Upwards of 150,000 migrants are being sworn in as citizens this year. And one can't help but wonder, is there some kind of connection? This is like disinformation. I'm actually like in jeopardy right now of losing my channel and losing my show by even talking about this stuff, which is bizarre, right? Like in and of itself, really bizarre. Because last I checked with this First Amendment, you know, we ought to be able to at least explore these ideas. Is there a link? I would argue that, you know, maybe it's a little bit conspiracy theory to think so. And yet when you see numbers like that and you consider how they're trying to infiltrate states like Texas or Florida or Georgia, some of it actually starts to make sense. Some of it really does. Do I have the clip for you? We played this the other day where you saw how there was a couple of people in New York City. I'll just tell you about it. They were in New York City and they were being asked in Spanish about what kind of benefits they were getting. They came here legally. They had 7 months thus far, free rent in a hotel where they got free maid service every day. I mean, free. It's given to them by FEMA. They also had Medicare. So they had the ability to get health insurance. And I get it. Like, you don't want people coming here and dying. You don't want people coming here and starving. You don't want people coming here and being homeless. But simultaneously, let's be realistic here. Maybe you just don't want people coming here in the first place, not unless they've passed certain markers, right? Certain tests. You have to have, as Trump once said, you can put out the red carpet for the people that you want to come here, provided they can take care of themselves, provided they have a place to go, provided that we're not, as a system, going to be drained to support them. Because what happens to us in the future? I mean, this is like Atlas Shrugged. I have that book in the back on my bookcase. It's like Atlas Shrugged at some point where, you know, you have these masses and these people controlling at the very top, the elites controlling these masses that are there for every little handout they can get. That is not America. Like, we're not going to survive like that. That's why this DEI stuff is a bunch of nonsense that's being thrown out as we speak. That's why you see increasingly really smart people in the private equity world, in the tech world, Elon Musk being one of them, coming over and saying, hey, you know what? We need this wake-up call. We need to actually take our country back. So I hope you're part of that. Make sure you subscribe to the show. Make sure you share this with your friends. You know that I am live here every day, and I am so committed. I am here no matter what they try and do. I am going to speak my mind. I'm going to continue to speak my mind. I will never lie to you. You will always get an honest viewpoint here, whether you like it or not. And many times you won't like it. I get it, right? We don't always agree on everything, and that's fine. But I'm here to tell you the truth as I see it and to give you my opinion on the news that's happening in the world right now. And right now, I'm really concerned about a lot of people that are in these classically red states. I hope to God that she's not doing what we think she's doing. She's not politicizing this, because we need everybody to get a fair shot at voting. I'll tell you, none of it is really helping in the polls. Did you see the latest out of Polymarket? This is great, guys. Polymarket, one of the prediction sites that I watch very carefully. I like looking at real money that's being put to work. Take a peek. What do you think? 53.1% chance of Donald Trump. This is what people are putting money on right now. They believe that Donald Trump is going to win this versus Kamala Harris. Polymarket is actually a prediction site. You can't predict on it here in the U.S. because there's certain laws and rules and regulations around it, and you can't predict what the election is going to be in other specific markets that prevent these from existing. But all over the world, they're trading this 24/7, and they're using, actually, total aside, blockchain technology to do it. I mean, I just think that's so super cool because, I'm kind of a dork that way, and I kind of am into blockchain and Bitcoin. And in this case, it's Ethereum blockchain that they're using to settle the trades. And I think that's going to be like something in our future as a society for sure. I mean, you think about all the derivatives contracts that you could be settling in something like Ethereum, but this is the latest and greatest from Polymarket. And with real money on the line, he's ahead.